Well, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Kelly, and today's topic we're going to talk about 25 things we're going to quit this year, 2025. And as I film this, it is exactly the beginning of the year. It's January 2nd. So let's just jump right in, sit back, relax, take some notes, and I hope you get something very valuable out of this video today. So the first one we're going to talk about is meeting the expectations of others, whether it's a spouse, children, boss, whatever it is. We're going to give up those expectations. Now, realistically, we have to check off our to-do list. We have to do our jobs. We have to do the responsible thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, okay, this person's expecting me to be this type of person when I'm really this type of person. So really evaluating who we are and making expectations of ourselves, not for just to please other people. The second one we're going to talk about is dieting, fad diets. Now in the past I've done the keto diet and I found it worked really well, but long term it's not really the healthiest. I'm not an expert in this area, but just from my own, I just feel diets are kind of one of those touchy subjects. I would recommend eating healthy, exercising, those types of things, because diets come and go. So I would give up the fad diets. The next one is living with guilt. Now we've all made mistakes in our past, and making things right. Yes, absolutely. Asking for forgiveness. All those things are wonderful, but to live there and to live in that guilt, not healthy. There's something to be said about moving forward and taking the next step. So we're going to leave that guilt behind in 2025 and move forward. And number 4, we're going to stop worrying this year. Now in the Bible, it talks many times about stop worrying, stop being anxious. We're going to leave all that behind and we're going to jump forward, new start, new beginning, and we're going to quit worrying about every little thing. And our number 5 is going to be, we're going to not live in the past anymore. Nope, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I recently lost my job last year, and here we are, new year, and this is it. This is a new beginning. We're not living in the past. I'm not going to look back and say, I wish I would have done that differently. I wish I would have done this. We're not doing that. Nope, we're done. And number 6, we're going to also, following that, we're going to leave those toxic relationships behind too, because anyone that brings you down and does not lift you up and encourage you, those are toxic people, whether they're family members, friends, whoever. If they're toxic, they need to go. So we're going to leave that behind too. Number 7 has to do with people again. People pleasing. We're not doing that anymore. Nope, no more people pleasing. Let it go. We are going to put God first, of course, if you're a Christian, and then ourselves. We're going to put what we need first, because if we take care of ourselves, then we're better to take care of other people. So no more people pleasing. We're letting that go this year. Number 8, we're not going to follow the crowd. No more following anybody. We're putting ourselves right in the driver's seat, and we are not following anyone else anymore. And number 9, we're going to quit being a passenger in our own life. This is all relational stuff, because if we take care of the relationship stuff first, everything will follow in order. Okay? Number 10, we're not going to lose ourselves for the sake of others. And what I mean by that is living what someone else thinks we should do instead of what we know, what we need to do. We're going to take back our life. That way we can give back, right? So that's what we're going to do this year. And number 11 is we're going to quit the jobs that we hate working. Now, I was at a job for a long time in the past that I really absolutely hated, and I should have left sooner. So what we're going to do is we're going to take ownership, and we're going to leave that toxic job, and we're going to start new, start fresh this year, and get into something that we really love. And the next one, number 12, we're going to stop listening to those negative voices. Stop listening to voices that tell you, oh, you can't do that, you can't start this, you can't do this. No, just leave all that behind. You'll do yourself a huge favor. The moment you hear it come in, just stop it right there. Whether if you have to journal about it, talk to a friend, just stop the negative voices. You'll thank yourself later. And the next one, number 13, is saying yes when you want to say no. I can't tell you how many times I have done this in my life. I have more times than I can count, said, yes, I'll do that. I'll volunteer with this. And then like my heart's not in it. And you know what? People will know. People will know that you're not being authentic, that you're not being true to yourself. You'll end up just wearing yourself out, and people will see it on you. They will know that, you know what? She really doesn't want to do that. I know it. So yeah, stop saying yes and just say, and you don't have to be abrupt about it. You can just say, well, thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for reaching out. I do appreciate that. It means a lot, but I can't do that. I can't commit to that right now. And that is the best way to instead of saying a hard no. And the next one, number 14, is we're going to stop comparing ourselves to others. Man, I am so guilty about this one. Social media has been great in a lot of ways, but social media has been really bad. I've found myself comparing myself to others, and you can't do that. There's only one you, and God's word does say that, I formed you in your mother's womb, there's only one you. So don't compare yourself to others. God made one you, so he has a job for you, a purpose for your life. So don't go around looking at this person's post or that person's video. Don't do any of that. Concentrate on what God made you to do, and I'm telling you, everything will fall in place. I promise you that. The next one is number 15, is we're going to quit bad habits. I couldn't even believe I almost forgot to include this in, because this is huge for a lot of people, whether it's smoking or drinking, drugs, overeating, whatever it is. Ask a professional for help with this. We all have them. I have a bad habit of loving chocolate too much. So that'll be one of my goals this year, is to cut back on my sweets. I don't want to give them up completely. If it's not good for you, really cut it out. Your body and your mind will thank you, future self. So yeah, we're going to give up those bad habits this year. This is the year to take accountability. We're going to leave it behind. Number 16 already, if you can believe that one, is we're going to stop holding on to just in case items. We're going to start decluttering stuff, because I'll tell you what, when I did my challenge back in 2019 to declutter, I felt so much lighter and so much better. I would be really careful. Don't throw anyone else's stuff out. Don't touch it. I've learned my lesson the hard way. Make sure you're only touching your own things and just getting rid of those things. You're like, I don't think I'll ever wear that. Don't hold on to just in case I lose that weight. That is just the worst thing to do. If it doesn't fit today, it's gone. Get rid of it. And number 17, we talked about this one earlier, but we're going to quit trying to be someone else. We're not going to mimic anyone else's life. We're not going to try to be in someone else's shoes. We're going to live up to what God has called us to do. So we're going to quit trying to be other people, because that doesn't work. There's only one you, like I said earlier. Number 18 is another one that was really heavy on my heart, was we're going to quit putting our dreams and our goals on the back burner. You're important. Whether you're a mom or you're caring for people, make sure you take care of yourself, because who else is going to take care of you? You have to take care of yourself. You'll find what it is that you want to do. Whether you have to make notes, write things down in the beginning, that's fine. Make sure you don't put off your own goals. Number 19 is another biggie. Overthinking. Don't overthink things. Just like I'm doing this video right now. It's not perfect. I'm not going to overthink it, because if we overthink it, we get all nervous and things happen. It's like, quit overthinking. Just put yourself out there. Your future self will thank you. Number 20. This is kind of a hard one, because yes, when you're at a job or you're doing something, you want to give your all. And I'm all about that. I'm all about doing a really good job, well performing. I am all about that. But there's a balance there, because you don't want to be burning out. So just make sure you keep in tune with your body. If you start feeling tired, step back. Don't work those really long hours at the job. The employer's not going to appreciate you being burned out. You're not going to be able to give your all if you're tired. So just make sure you listen to those warning signs in your body. Don't do the burnout thing. It's not worth it. Number 21 is not saving for the future, living on a budget. This is another big one. When we're trying to pursue something big, it's not wise to just quit a job, be done. You have to plan for these things. You have to save and have a budget. It's not going to work. Plan for the worst and hope for the best, right? So make sure you're having a written budget. You will thank yourself. Your family will thank you. Just always plan for the worst. And number 22 is keeping up with the Joneses. Another big one. You don't ever want to buy a car or a house just to show, oh, I can do this, or I have it. Make sure it's something that's within your budget and something that you love. Who cares what all the outside people think? As long as you and your family are happy and thriving, that's all that really matters. Okay, so just make sure we're not doing that this year. That was an old term back in my day, was keeping up with the Joneses. 23 is looking for happiness in things, and boy, that's a big one too. You know, I can't tell you how many times where I would buy something and then I would think, oh, that didn't really make me happy. Happiness comes from the inside out. I'm a Christian, so with me it starts with my devotional time with the Lord. Maybe some of you that click in and are not Christian, but I can tell you it does start in here. Buying the next biggest toy is just not going to fill that void. So just take it from me, from someone that's almost 50 years old. You have to find that happiness either with the Lord or within yourself. Number 24 is don't go into debt or take on huge loans. I used to do this all the time. I used to think, oh man, I really want to do schooling or something and to take on these student loan debts. Don't do it, kids. If you're a college student tuning in, I would strongly recommend not taking on student loan debt. Whether you can do scholarships, some workplaces will offer on-the-job training, do that. Or sometimes they'll do grants through the state. Do yourself a favor, please don't take on student loan debt, because you're not always promised a job when you get out of college. I can tell you I've had jobs making the same as someone that had a degree and I don't have a degree. Just work hard. I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm saying don't take on the loans. You'll thank yourself for not doing that. Start off fresh, no debt. You will be so happy that you heard this and listened to me. Final one we have is don't forget to love yourself in the midst of your busy life. Don't lose who you are, and don't forget to love on yourself. Something that I really love to do is take nice walks by the beach. Sometimes in the summer, I'll escape for a little while. I'll say, family, I'll be back. And I just need to clear my head and just hear the waves. And that's my thing. That might not be your thing. Your thing might be reading or something, or playing a video game. Everyone's thing is different. Mine is that quiet time, walks, going to the beach. Make sure you just don't forget to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love others. Dial back. Not just put yourself first per se, because that kind of sounds selfish, but love yourself enough that way you can give back to others. I hope that this video was helpful. A like and subscribe would mean so much to me. I really appreciate you here, and I will see you again in the next one. Have a wonderful day and happy 2025. We can do this, friends. Bye.